So, a few weeks ago, I went onto a very sketchy website and bought this, which is a sort of presentation case which says Korea money in English and in Korean. When it arrived and I could finally look at it properly, I found all sorts of really odd things inside. It wasn't until I was actually writing the script for this video that I discovered this one is a fake. Yes, it's a counterfeit 1 won note from North Korea. And I could not be more excited. So let me try and explain what this thing is. It's very cheaply made vinyl covered cardboard. And it says Korea money, as I said. And inside, there are some North Korean commemorative stamps for some reason. 4 North Korean coins, 3 of which are identical, and then 9 banknotes. Not all from the same series. It's sort of a pick and mix. I'm not sure it's genuine. I mean, I didn't buy it from North Korea. It came from China, I think. I don't know where it came from originally. It may have been made in China to try and sell to gullible people like me. I don't mind if I was fooled because it's pretty interesting. But anyway, you need to take these things with a huge grain of salt, what's inside, because, as I said, one's obviously a fake. So if we just start with the stamps here, these, I can't take them out. They're enclosed. I'd have to sort of rip open the vinyl. These appear on the front inside cover, and they commemorate the 55th anniversary of the Workers' Party, which is the ruling party in North Korea. And it's from the year 2000. Which is really the not the 55th anniversary, because it was founded in 1949, but there was a predecessor organization called the North Korean Bureau of the Communist Party, which was founded in 1945, so I guess they're counting from there. And I assume these are stamps. They look like stamps, sort of in a commemorative thing. The reason I have decided they're stamps is this appears to be 51 at the bottom. I've had a translator sort of help me understand what it says here. That's Kim Il-sung, the founder of North Korea. That's his son, Kim Jong-il, who passed away in 2011, so a good 10 years after this was made. And this is Kim Il-sung's first wife and Kim Jong-il's mother, Kim Jong-suk. She was supposedly a guerrilla, a communist guerrilla during World War II. And she died, we think, in 1949. It's a bit mysterious how she died. But anyway, she's treated as a martyr and a hero in North Korea. And as you'll see, she comes up regularly on banknotes. So one other thing I should point out, that's the Workers' Party symbol, by the way. But the dates here, so this actually says that the party was founded in the year 34. That's using North Korea's special calendar, which begins in 1912, the year that Kim Il-sung was born. And so the party was then founded in 1945, year 34 on their calendar. And the 55th anniversary was in year 89, or as we call it, 2000. And this year, 2021, in case you're wondering, I believe is year 110. So, let's have a look at some of these on the inside here. So if I just pull this out. This is a 5,000 won banknote. That's Kim Il-sung, the founder of the country and the subject of a pretty intense personality cult, which has outlived him, as you see. This is probably the most imposing of the banknotes that came in this wallet. Really, the back has what is, I believe, the place where he supposedly was born, which is a sort of like a holy site if you're North Korean. And that doesn't actually say what it is. That just sort of says North Korean Central Bank on it. I guess they just assumed that everyone would know what this place was. So there we go. Otherwise, not the most interesting banknote. I guess a lot of these are not terribly interesting in their own, but more what they represent. But there's also a second 5,000 one. That first one I showed you is from 2002. This one's from 2013, I believe. So as you can see, it's even more boring. Yeah, this is also Kim Il-sung's birthplace, which is here on the front instead of on the reverse. So a big 5,000 won banknote with a squat little set of buildings on it. Not what you expect. But interesting over here, we have a overprint, as they say, which is when some printing is put on a banknote afterwards. And it's to commemorate 100 years of the birth of Kim Jong-suk, who's the woman that we mentioned here, Kim Il-sung's first wife. So it's a commemorative banknote, but instead of producing a special note, they just put some text over here on the side, which is really a sort of ultra cheap way to do it, I guess, if you're a cash-strapped hermit kingdom. And then on the back here, you have, this is a museum called the International Friendship Exhibition, which houses gifts that North Korea's 3 leaders have received from foreign dignitaries from around the world over the years. Here's a 2000. And look, we have another hut. This is a log cabin from Mount Paektu, which is supposedly the birthplace of Kim Jong-il, who was the son of the founder Kim Il-sung and the second leader of North Korea. Also, this mountain is supposedly the birthplace of Korea's mythical founder, Dangun. Most scholars think that Kim Jong-il was actually born somewhere in the Soviet Union during World War II, I think, but this was sort of retconned so that he had a more prestigious birthplace. And here we have another overprint commemorating the 70th anniversary of the founding of North Korea, I believe. So 70 years, 1948 to 2018. And then on the reverse, so these are the same mountains, Mount Paektu, although from a distance. And if you look on the North Korean national emblem, their sort of coat of arms, these are the mountains that appear behind the power lines. And again, nothing on here to say what these are. You're just sort of expected to know, I guess, if you're from North Korea. We have a 1,000 note. And look, it's another single-story building in a rural setting. Also the commemorative overprint here. But this is the birthplace of, guess who? Yes, it is the birthplace of the only one of those 3 from the beginning that we haven't talked about, Kim Jong-suk, the mother of Kim Jong-il. And it's located in the far north of North Korea on the Chinese border. And on the back we have a lake. Oh, it's a great thing to put on your banknotes. A lake. I mean, I'm sure it's a nice lake and it's really famous. It just doesn't really, lakes don't really translate well to banknotes. It's just a big flat thing. But I do like this color. This sort of plum purpley color. That's nice. Otherwise very unremarkable. So speaking of plum purpley colors, on this really drab banknote otherwise, the sky here, the clouds are white, but they're on a sort of violet purpley sky. This is a 500 won banknote. This one has the mausoleum where the great leader Kim Il-sung was buried. It was originally his home. So after he dies, his son spends an estimated 100 million to 900 million, I think I read, converting it into a mausoleum where his body is kept in a special glass coffin. And on this version of the picture, there's just the portrait of Kim Il-sung on the front. But today, there is a portrait side by side with it of Kim Jong-il, who has since passed away about 10 years ago and is also housed in this same mausoleum right next to his father, which is creepy on many levels. And then on the back, look, we've got a suspension bridge, a sort of classic thing to have on a banknote if you're from a repressive regime. I don't know why, but yeah, it does come up quite a lot. It's pretty unremarkable bridge, I guess, on a global sense, but maybe in North Korea it's pretty exciting. This is one of the bridges that's in Pyongyang. Yeah, well, there we go. So now, next is like perhaps the most boring of any of the banknotes, although I think it's just exciting to have a North Korean banknote. This is the mongan, the national flower of North Korea. And that's all that's on it. There's not really any interesting text, although it does say 2005 North Korea date. That would be 94. And then on the back, got a big 200. That's it. That's all you get. So since this one is rather unremarkable, I will show, I don't know if it's going to show up here. I may have to take a picture. And so this watermark here is the Cholima statue from Pyongyang, which is a famous statue. It commemorates the Cholima movement, which was an attempt like the Great Leap Forward in China to sort of industrialize North Korea at a rapid pace back in the, I think, late 40s and 50s. And it failed miserably and probably set North Korea back rather than help it advance forward. That's hardly surprising, I think, if I'm honest. That's kind of the way these things work. But anyway, a really dull banknote. Color's kind of nice. I guess you've got a sort of blue to greeny thing here. Otherwise, not much to talk about. But now we're moving into banknotes which don't feature buildings on them, at least not completely. So this is a 10, which, to be honest with you, if you'd said to me, we're going to look at some North Korean banknotes, this is what I would have thought most North Korean banknotes would look like, with a bunch of soldiers on them. So these are soldiers from the Air Force, Navy, and Army. And they're not particular soldiers. They're just kind of normal old soldiers. And that says year 91, 2002. On the back there is the statue of the Fatherland Liberation War Monument. Next, we've got another one that is a sort of classic banknote for what you kind of expect for North Korea, I guess. These are students from Kim Il-sung University in Pyongyang here on the front. Not particular ones, just sort of random students in the sort of anonymous way that I guess you expect on Soviet art. There's a symbol of atomic stuff. I guess it's 3 electrons, which would make it lithium, I think. But I think it's just supposed to represent science learning with a random atom. And he's got his hand on a globe, and he's got a book in his hand. On the back, here you've got the Grand People's Study House, which is like the North Korean Library of Congress. If you're American, you know what that means. It's a sort of place of learning. I doubt they have every book in the world the way the Library of Congress tries to do. And then last of all, at least in terms of banknotes, we've got what is by far the most fascinating of any of them. This is the 1-1 banknote from the 1992 series, which is not the current one. I don't think there's a 1-1 banknote in the current banknotes. The 1 banknote for whatever country tends to be rather important. So rather than put their big leader on there, Kim Il-sung or the current leader, they've got an actress from a film. Her name is Hong Yi-hee, and she is famous in North Korea for being in a film called The Flower Girl. And the Flower Girl film was based on a play which was supposedly written by Kim Il-sung. I think a lot of people doubt it was written by him. It's supposedly like really depressing film, like you want to slit your wrists by the time you get to the end of it. She lives this terrible life. She's mistreated by her landlord. Things get worse and everything bad kind of, that you can imagine happens to her. And then at the end, things get like maybe a little bit better, but not that much. And the moral of the story is just that, landowners are terrible people. The actress herself is extremely famous. That's the only thing I think she's famous for. She was 16 at the time the film was made and had never been in a film before, but she's one of the most famous non-politicians in sort of North Korean history, I guess. This overprint here says, the greatest leader, Kim Il-sung, 95th birthday. So on the back here, this is quite interesting. We've got the depiction of another mountain, Mount Kumgang, which is a traditional mountain that artists in Korea back in medieval times would make a pilgrimage to in order to be inspired. So it's sort of referred to like a muse from Greek mythology. Oh, actually, I can see there's a sort of figure here with a flute sort of flying in the wind, sort of unexpectedly mythological for a communist regime. I guess it's like, there's a unified theme here. We've got an actress with a inspiring of artwork mountain here on the back. So that's cool. What's really weird about this banknote is, and I can just feel, I'm worried about touching it because it's fake. And the way I learned it was fake was because there's no watermark, or at least, there's nothing. And I guess watermarks are supposed to help you realize that a banknote's fake. But I mean, I was looking at it and I thought, there's no watermark. But this is when it was still in the case. And then when I picked it up or took it out, I had taken it out a couple of times and not noticed. It's printed on shiny paper. I'm going to get this to reflect. It's not like normal banknote paper like this, which is not going to reflect light, not in the same way. It's like a nice laser printing. And I can't for the life of me figure out why someone would counterfeit a 1-1 banknote. Because the North Korean won's worth like basically nothing. 1 won. I mean, I'll have to flash up on the screen what it's worth. It's worth like a fraction of a penny. And also, you would think that the act of making a good counterfeit on a color copier would be more expensive than getting an actual note. So my guess is that this was made either for collectors to fool them, or maybe as some sort of sample or something. I mean, who knows? Maybe it wasn't for untoward reasons, although I can't think of why. It's just very, very odd. I mean, I just can't imagine why someone would make these. The thing is that this is not like a consistent set. There's no reason why someone buying this would have expected a 1-1 banknote, because these are all from different periods. Like, there's 2 5,000 notes here. This isn't like a complete set of a certain run of banknotes. It's just a hodgepodge and a jumble. And if you wanted any more proof of that, there are the coins, which, as I said, I think in the opening, there are 4. That's a 100 won, 100 won, 100 won, and that's a 1 won. Why, I don't know. I mean, it's just really very strange. So there's no, and then there's stamps, and a money thing. So why would you go to the effort of counterfeiting a 1-1 banknote? It's not like I had any expectation of any particular banknote when I bought this. So that's a mystery. I'd love to know why. So if you're the person that made this, please leave a comment and let me know. I'm just dying to know why someone would go to the effort. And in general, please leave a comment. So one thing I've not covered in this video so far is how much these banknotes are worth. I don't think they have much value as collector's notes. I mean, they didn't cost that much to buy. The 5,000 won banknote is worth, according to xe.com, $5.55. So not a lot. The thing to remember with a really repressive regime like North Korea is that the value of money is very relative. It's not like it is here, where if you've got $10,000, you can just go buy whatever you want with your $10,000. In a regime like North Korea and the old Soviet Union, having clout, having access, those are the things that really are much more important than money. So it's probably wrong to get too excited about how much exactly these are worth to a North Korean. But when I added it all up, the entire value of the entire thing on face value, assuming it was all still valid, is about $20. Not a lot. Also, if you enjoyed this video or you're interested in North Korea, one of my very first videos and my very first Strange Politics video, was about the political parties that, in theory, nominally run North Korea. So in reality, the Workers' Party is really in charge, although the Workers' Party is effectively the Kim family. But there are 3 or 4 other parties which have representation in the parliament in North Korea. And they're kind of fake parties. It's commonly done in dictatorial regimes to make a regime look like it's democratic. But yeah, it's pretty interesting. So it was a very early video of mine. It was made on PowerPoint before I really knew how to make a video. Still learning. But yeah, if you're interested, check it out. I still think it stands up pretty well. And yeah, thank you very much for watching. I'm really enjoying making these videos. I hope you guys are enjoying watching them. Looking forward to hitting the big 500 subscriber mark soon, hopefully. So if you've enjoyed this and you're enjoying my other videos, tell a friend. Get them to subscribe. It's free. And yeah, see you guys in the next video.